Hello, everybody. Welcome to Amazing You. I am your host. My name is Dr. Ranithanacoody. I am a certified hypnotherapist using rapid transformational therapy. I am a life and relationship coach, breathwork coach, astrologer, lifeforce compassion practitioner, and past life regression therapist. And today, I have the immense pleasure to introduce you to MartinaK. She is a clarity alignment coach. Martina is based in the UK and she is passionate about helping driven women to find and build their fulfilling career path and life live a life that they love. So welcome, Martina, to Amazing You.
Thank you so much for the invitation and for bringing me to your viewers and to your listeners, to your amazing audience, and for giving me the opportunity and space to share a little bit about me and about my story, and hopefully to inspire many others.
I am sure you will inspire a lot of people today who need to hear your story and what you do. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to the audience. I know you are very busy, but I really appreciate your time to be with us here. So let's get started, Martina, with the first question, and which is more about getting to know your story. So if you would tell us about your story, about how you started to do what you are doing. So tell us more about that.
Sure. So my story goes long 7 years ago, started 7 years ago, when I decided to completely change my life. And I'm originally from Slovakia, and I finished my master's degree and had an amazing job and own apartment and family, friends. But something deep inside me was missing. And I had no idea what was it, but kind of I knew that there is more to my life. And I had no idea what I was looking for or how to find it. I simply decided to pack myself and leave to UK, to London, where I was living before. But I knew that London was kind of like the full city, my dream city, full of opportunities. So I came here with literally nothing and just with my big dream, which very, very soon burst out because the London is a very expensive city. And I had to face the harsh reality, you know, that you have to pay your bills, you have to survive. So after my big dream, you know, just to completely change my life, as I was reading in books or watching in the movies, I just was looking for a job to pay my bills.
Okay.
And at first I thought to myself, you know, it's just going for a while, for a few weeks, you know, just to pay, and then I will find something better and figure things out. But as you know, once you get busy and days goes after day, week after week, a month after month, you eventually find yourself in the same circle. And I remember that morning, and it was Monday morning. It was dull, rainy and cold, and I woke up and was getting ready to the job, which I literally hated.
Okay. Was it a 9 to 5 job?
Yes, it was 9 to 5 job.
Mm.
And in that moment, while I was getting ready, I realized, what the heck am I doing here? And I was lonely. I was almost broke. I had literally, you know, was surviving from paycheck to paycheck. And I was miserable. And I really asked myself, what the heck am I doing? Why did I leave everything behind? Because I moved countries, I changed companies, but kind of my life was just the same. just going from one place to another. I replaced my body, but nothing else has changed. And that was the moment when I actually learned the hard way that it doesn't matter what you change outside. If it doesn't change inside, nothing will change for you. And at this point, I still had no idea what actually I had to change or how to change. But kind of like the light moment came to me, what the heck, you can lose. Just do something what you love. And for me, that was reading books about inspiring stories, learning about personal growth, which I always loved. And for some reason, you kind of get stuck in life and you forget to do what you love. So I returned back to those little things which was bringing me joy. And as I was learning, from reading the books, I wanted to know more. I was looking for the information on the internet, which led me to signing up to one conference, then going to another place, and meeting new people, new opportunities. And that's kind of my mind. It opened up my mind to completely different opportunities, different lifestyles, and different kind of life. When I was introduced to do something and gave me the belief and skills and the opportunities to really do what I love. So that's kind of literally the beginning of my story, because obviously the journey, it was just the beginning of the journey, but just allowing myself to do what I love was a huge shift in my journey. And that's actually when everything started, to shift for me as well. Once I allowed myself to listen to my desires and do something what I love.
And how did you do that? How did you learn to listen to your desires, Martina?
That's great questions. I think, that desires, we know, we deep down, we know what we want. And it takes the courage and honesty within yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Because many times we are just crowded, our mind is crowded with all those doubts and limited beliefs. Maybe we even tried before that, and it didn't work out. But those desires we all have. I call them dreams, and we all know what actually what we want, and it's calling us.
Absolutely, yes.
It's calling. So just listen, and probably if you are living in an everyday life, try to take some time for yourself. Just go out in the nature, or just start meditating, or go away, from the normal life, change the environment, or maybe change the people, and just get quiet for yourself. And also another tool which I learned my clients is to write. For me, it's the writing. For me, it's the meditation and also the healing. And I write every morning. I have my journal, and that's how I start each morning, a setup of myself, for the day. And once I start writing, it's kind of everything comes out, so I don't edit. I just write whatever I feel. So that's another way how to probably get out, really what's kind of inside of you.
Thank you for sharing that, because these are two great tips that you gave. And that's what I did myself. That's when I started that journey. I would go out in nature for an hour every day, really without mobile, without any technology, just connect with nature and myself. And that helped me a lot to clear my head, to feel more calm, to listen more to what my intuition is telling me, to what my however people want to call it, the inner ding, the compass inside, and that's so important. That's so, so true. Yes, because we are so consumed by the noises outside of us, our environment, that, like you said, we forgot to listen. And that knowing is there, but we ignored it for a long time. And the other tips that you gave about journaling is great. I think it's a great tip as well. And thank you for sharing those two beautiful things that the audience can put into practice straight away. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Nothing is stopping there, just creating that space for yourself, and I think also just start doing, in little things, whatever you like. And it doesn't have to be big thing. It doesn't have to be a radical change. Just create little space for yourself and allow yourself to do what you truly love. That will open up the door to completely different opportunities already.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Thank you, Martina. And what has been the greatest challenge in your life, and how did you overcome it, Martina?
That's very, very connected to my journey and actually to what I'm doing. I would say the greatest challenge is to overcome my doubts, my fears, and myself, probably the limitation which I created for myself. And and probably that's something what I'm doing in my coaching practice and also teaching my clients, because through all my journeys, I've been through different programs and I started to learn with online marketing. And the online marketing is changing, and there are so many strategies and everything. But one thing what I learned, and actually anyone can apply that to any business and probably would agree with me, that you got to believe in what you are selling and what you want to stand up for. And that's very relating, to the challenge, because I was living in the shadow for a very long time. I used to believe that I'm the shy and I've got like nothing to offer, nothing to say. And just coming out, from that shadow and just really sharing what I believe in, and that, the truth and that honesty of coming out as who I am, that's something what actually creating the biggest change in my clients as well, and is the biggest inspiration, for many others. So even there are so many strategies and different methods which are changing in the business all the time, there is one which actually you can definitely trust yourself and believe in what you are offering and stand up for yourself. And that's something which probably will be challenged all the way through, because there are so many different opinions, different ways and different strategies, how you can do the business. But to always be centered and be certain with what you are offering and who you are, it kind of takes everyday mastery.
Yes, that's true. Yes, thank you. And what has this challenge taught you, Martina? About
it has taught me that there is more higher power when actually you are really serving from your heart.
Yes.
And that's the biggest shift, biggest movement, biggest tool, strategy, method, inspiration, whatever we want to call it. There is no bigger power than love, and coming from the heart. That's what has proved me over and over again. And every time, doesn't matter how much it doesn't make sense or how many different opinions, there will always be the biggest movement and the change which actually creates the transformation when it's serving for all.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. I completely agree with you that when it comes from the heart, it helps to create the shift within ourselves. And also we operate at a higher level, because when you operate from a heart level, you are operating from the you are vibrating at the highest level of energy, which is a love energy, and which is contrary of the fear energy. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. And who has been for you, Martina, the most influential person in your life, and why?
My parents.
Okay.
And to find this out, I had to move to another country
Mm.
and change my life to really see that, because of course, as we are growing up, we find, or maybe we wish, that actually if they would be different, or they would something do differently, or
Mm.
the things would turn out differently for us. There is, the kind of like the stage of victimhood when you are
Okay.
pointing out the fingers on somebody else, and wishing. And of course, I, as a young uh, mm, woman, was growing up, and was full of resentment
Mm.
and wishing, oh, maybe if things were different for me, then I would be somewhere else.
Yes.
But through my journey, I learned that probably they actually gave me the biggest gift,
Mm.
because they dedicated their life, for their children, which is
Mm.
their highest value,
Yes.
and to the service.
Yeah.
And my parents, they are truly like givers. They we were never like rich, but there was nothing missing.
Mm.
And especially because we have 5 children at home,
Okay.
so big family.
Yes.
And but we were always abundant and very rich because we had each other. And
Oh.
that's something that they taught me, but I had to realize to move away, and
Yes.
learn from a different perspective, that actually what I had all the time, and how lucky and rich and abundant person I've been all that life.
Mm.
But I just wasn't able to see that. So
Awesome.
that they are the most inspiring people in my life. And uh, they are over 70s,
Okay.
both of them, but they are still keep giving, keep serving, and I would say that they are very, very happy people. And
Oh, that's so beautiful. So, so interesting and so beautiful that you shared that. Thank you. And that's so true, that our parents are our greatest teachers, because they gave us life, and they did the best they could with the little they knew.
oh yeah,
Now, as grown up, we need to take responsibility for our life and live the life that we want. So, yes, it's so true. Thank you.
absolutely agree.
And what are the three qualities you said you admire with them, Martina?
So it's obviously the love, the service, and the
Okay.
growth. And
Oh.
probably the growth, that's something, in their form,
Mm.
it was the growth, or they were challenged probably to grow with their children, because obviously we were all of them challenging them in some way. And for me, the growth has turned, to my love of studying and learning, and finding ore. And I find kind of like the lesson in everything and in everyone. And
Mm.
I truly believe that nothing is coincidence,
Yes.
and that there is learned to literally learn from everything, whoever I meet, and from everything that is happens to me, you know, either in the past or is happening now. And probably that's something, the skills, you know, to having that ability to think differently and be open-minded and have an open heart is probably something that actually is creating the biggest shift.
Yes.
So
I think that's very interesting you say that, having that, keeping that ability to learn from everything and everyone in your life. And I think that's so true, because when we take it like that, we are able to let go and we
yeah,
are able to grow, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yes. And that's, I'm glad you said that, because when we look at every situation, it's always happening for us to grow and evolve.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why it's so important, like you said, to look at it as a growth, as an opportunity for us to grow, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing that happened, a breakup. Yes, that's so true. Thank you.
And I know that we had a little conversation between us before the interview,
Yes, yes,
and we both kind of agreed, you know, that life is happening for us and
yes,
not to us.
yes,
And it's our responsibility, you know, to find that learning lesson in everything and everyone.
yes.
And sometimes we just need a little push
Mm,
from others. Sometimes we just need to open our minds, you know, to do so. But once we just are open to it, you know, and probably able to ask different questions, then the lesson comes.
yes, thank you. That's so true. Thank you. And what quote, Martina, has helped you to cope in challenging times?
What quote I would,
Yes.
the quote probably which I'm living by is there is always a way.
Okay. Mm,
And it's, I would probably refer it probably not to as quote, but uh, as a kind of this suggestion to ask yourself different questions.
okay.
Because as just mentioned before, you know, that life is happening for us and not to us. And sometimes our mind just cannot clearly see
Mm,
why is it happening, what is happening, but there is a bigger picture,
yes.
and nothing is coincidence in this universe. And once we learn how the universe operates,
Mm,
uh, you know, we know that everything is connected to everything. And even if we don't mentally are aware why it's happening, what is happening right now, but as long as we are open to ask different questions, then we are able to come with different answers from different perspectives.
yes.
And that's something, you know, that probably I would really would love to suggest to anyone else who is actually facing very big challenges and or going through some rough time, you know,
Okay.
just to be open and ask yourself different questions. You know, what if this is helping me in some way? What
Mm,
if there is another lesson? What if
yes.
is, you know, doing taking me somewhere else, maybe it's opening up new path. So
Yes.
whatever it is, you know, but just starting what if is really prompting your mind to really come with different answers.
Yes. That's so true. Yes. And can you tell us, you were talking about books, that you've read a lot of books, and on that journey, we do read a lot of books. I would be very interested to know what book has impacted you the most, Martina, and why.
I I've been learning a lot. That's
Yes.
one of my biggest passion, and constantly reading and listening.
Mm,
Probably the biggest, the one which straight comes to my mind and is
yes.
also my biggest inspiration and leader and mentor, which I admire the most in this field, is Dr. John DeMartini.
Okay.
His Value Factor book, or any kind of book which he has, just will open your mind and give perspective to completely different way of thinking. So definitely I recommend his books. He's got the value test on his website, which actually you can go and take it for free, and amazing resources, and all his work is just inspirational and life-changing already. So definitely go for his book and his teaching, because he has a lot of wisdom to offer. So take any of it. And also Tony Robbins.
Okay.
I admire his books, admire his work, I admire him as a person, as a leader, because he's really giving and inspiring people beyond himself. And he has a big mission which he's living by. So, and also any of his books, they're amazing. So probably, yeah, take any of them.
These are two great people, and their books are amazing. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. And tell us briefly about what you do, Martina, and how can people contact you?
Yeah. So as my journey started, I wanted to completely change my life and had no idea what I wanted and how to change it. But I knew deep down that there was something bigger for me and more to live, more experience. And during my journey, I had so many trials and errors, or learning lessons, as I call them now. But luckily, I learned from each step which I took. And as a result, I developed the formula, the fulfilling formula, which I call. And that's kind of really the basic foundation, which I always take all my clients through, because it's really getting the clarity on yourself and actually is helping you to find your calling. And once you get clear on that, it will save you lots of time, lots of money, lots of energy of spending somewhere else and trying to figure out what's actually right for you. So that's kind of my foundation, and then I take my clients through on their transformational journey, and trying, want to support them and give them the opportunity and space to connect with many others. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. So take them through transformation, starting with connecting with finding their calling, and helping them to really live and create the fulfilling life and career, and especially do what they love and get handsomely paid for it.
That is extraordinary that you are able to help them, and we need people like you to help others to find the clarity, because so many people, they don't even know where they are now. So if you don't know where you are now, how will you know where you are going? So
Yeah.
like your work is a great work. Thank you for doing that. And is there a website that you can share with the audience today that they can reach out to you? Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. They can either search for me on Google and Facebook, where I'm about MartinaK.com, or that's also the name of my website. So you can just connect, or on Instagram, and I believe the links will be also posted below this interview. And so feel free to reach out, connect, and let's get you on your unique path.
Thank you so much, Martina, today, for taking the time to share your story, your journey, and what you do to the audience. And I wish you a lot of success in your career, in moving ahead. And I would like to say also a big thank you to the audience for listening, for watching, and for subscribing. And we have some amazing, wonderful speakers coming. And stay connected to Amazing You. Thank you, everyone. And thank you so much, Martina.
I thank you as well, and thank you to you for taking your time and creating the space and the opportunity, for others and also for leaders to bring us all together and to this platform and sharing our stories and giving us the opportunity to inspire others. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Martina.